Now that you found the perfect home, it's time to get together with your agent and write the offer. I'm going to break down for you the details of what information is included on an offer contract for real estate. First, who's buying? Now, that may seem really straightforward to you, but is it just you? Is it you and your spouse, your significant other? Is it you and your child? Or is it an LLC? This is important information to have so you know exactly whose name goes on the offer contract. Next, purchase price. This is the big one. The number one thing that people look at when they look at a contract. What number are you offering? What is the purchase price? Next, close date. So the seller wants to know, is this a quick close? Is this a 2-week turnaround? Or is this a 90-day close because you've got to move out of your other home before closing on this house? Close date is super important and it will have an effect on how the seller views your offer. Financing or cash? Cash is king, of course, and every seller loves to see that a cash deal is coming down the pipeline along with a proof of funds. But if you're financing, those details are going to be on the contract as well. Are you doing a 30-year loan, a 15-year fixed? Are you doing partial cash, partial financing? And also, have you already applied for financing? So that is important in a hot market. Financing is also going to come into play on a seller's decision. Next item is earnest money. Earnest money is an amount of money that you offer with the contract, showing good faith of your interest and your desire to purchase the property. Earnest money can be 1% of the purchase price. It can be a larger amount, $10,000, $20,000, however much you want, but you want it to be enough that shows the seller that in good faith you are willing to move forward with the purchase. This money does go into escrow and goes towards your closing costs, so you're not losing out unless you back out of the deal. So that's one thing that earnest money is there for. It's to hold you to the contract so that you can't just walk away and take the house off the market. If you walk away from the contract, then the earnest money will come into question and there'll be negotiation as to how that is distributed. If your contract is contingent upon financing and for some reason you are not approved for financing, then you get your earnest money back. Asking for closing costs. Some buyers who don't have a lot of money to put down up front will ask the seller to pay some or all of their closing costs. Now, if you're in a hot competitive market, you want to try to keep the contract as clean as possible and do what you can to not ask for something like this because sometimes the seller takes a little offense to having to pay your costs. But it is something that buyers will utilize, especially in a buyer's market. Most of the time, buyers will make their contract contingent upon the home inspection so that they can make sure that everything is in order prior to purchase. Also, the appraisal, if you are financing, will be a contingency in the contract. It is not required to get an appraisal if you are purchasing cash, but you will have to have it done through your lender if it is a financing situation. And also, a CL 100 inspection will be on the contract. That is a termite and pest inspection, and it is very important to make sure that there is no infestation in the home. Now, a home warranty is something that you can ask for in the contract, which is different than home insurance. Home insurance is required if you are financing, of course, and you want insurance on your home, but a warranty is a different thing. It's basically a policy that will protect you from service charges for appliances or servicing your HVAC. There are many different policies for home warranties out there, and it is not a requirement, but sometimes buyers will ask the seller to pay for a home warranty in a contract. Lastly, contingencies. You can add just about any contingency you can think of into a contract, such as contingency of a very common one is the contingency of selling a property in order to buy. So if your house is on the market and you need those proceeds to purchase this next property, you can make the contract contingent upon selling your other house. I've seen buyers make a contingency of that it's contingent upon them flying down to view and approve the property. If they're living out of town and they found the home on Zillow, they want to come down and approve the property, but they want to get it under contract prior to getting down here. Or you can make it contingent upon the garage door being fixed. Just about anything you want. But if you really are in a hot competitive market, again, you want as few contingencies as possible. You want a clean contract so that the seller really just has to look at purchase price, close date, and really everything's pretty cut and dry. And you can add as many contingencies as you want. That's basically all the items that are in a real estate offer. And stay tuned for the next episode